that's really beneficial is to identify those leaders around you, whether they're good or bad, is to really, where you can get up close and observe them in person and start to say, you know, these are things I admire, and how do I adopt some of these behaviors to become more effective? Leadership is the ability to get people to do things they otherwise wouldn't. And I do believe that's what a leader's all about. When you think about management, it's about tasks. And you all work with people that love tasks. I did this, I did that, and that's that busy versus productive. And there's a lot of managers that are that way. And I always think of it as status quo. I mean, if you need somebody to take care of status quo, you need a manager. If you need someone to lead change and to go into uncharted waters and to be uncomfortable and to pull people along, then you need a leader. And the hard part, I think, is really leveraging strengths and not trying to, like you said, change people. It's to identify what they're really good at and figuring out what role they can play in the organization. But a lot of times, you hire somebody and they're absolutely the perfect person for that job the day you hire them. But that doesn't mean a year from now or 6 months from now they're going to be it might not be a good fit. And again, it goes to, whatever you learn from this session and whatever you decide how you're going to approach leadership and how you're going to become more effective is about, you're going to have to change. You can't just think about it. You have to change. You have to change the way you communicate, and you have to change the way that you listen. It doesn't mean you have to become charismatic or you have to become an extrovert, but some aspects of your behavior are going down. What you're trying to do is make a difference out there. And you're realizing now where you're at in your ventures, you can't do it alone. You got to get people to come. How do I sell my vision to people that I can't pay? But really, what's your vision for your organization, for your role? Where do you see this going? What are the possibilities? To really make it values being at the core, and that is what helps you establish trust. And then what you do is you outline a purpose for the organization, the mission and the vision. And then what you do is you provide the resources along the way so that people can be successful. Because at the end of the day, people are always asking 3 questions. Do you care about me? Are you committed to me? Can I trust you? Those are the questions we ask of each other every day, but we don't ask them out loud. So in a lot of ways, however you go about painting that picture, do something that's relevant for them that they can relate to. What's the best way to figure out how somebody, what motivates somebody? Yeah, that's it. Ask them. How many people have ever been asked by their boss, what motivates you? And again, if you go back to the definition, it's to get others to follow you willingly. Willingly means everything, it's transparent. It's an open book. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm trying to paint the picture, and I'd like for your behavior to change and for you to come along. What I'm really trying to do is, through all this listening and communication, is to gain a commitment. And part of this is, this leadership is teaching and coaching. If you think about the leaders that have had the most effect on you, I guarantee they taught you something. And I guarantee there's probably a teacher, literally a teacher, that's had a profound influence on your life at some point. And what they probably did was, they didn't teach you about molecular biology. What they did was, they held up a mirror and helped you see yourself in a different way. They helped you see where you're at and where you could be. And that's really what great leaders are able to do. Peter Drucker, famous business guru, always said, if you, as a consultant, he said, all I need to do is ask 2 questions. What business are you in? And who's your customer? And if you think about it, those are really hard questions to answer. But I thank you for having me today.